Hello everyone, welcome to the Turfway Park Report for Saturday, January 23rd, 2016. 9 live races on the card, the poly track as always labeled fast. The first race from Turfway is a claimant event for fillies and mares, number 1-3 Lifetime. They'll go 1 1/16 miles. Morning line favorite number 3, Puppy on a String. They are off. Good beginning for all, but the fastest was for Karina Charm, who sends on out. Right to her inside, there's Puppy on a String, and Bid Red Kitten's going to be a pace presence while racing third. Stem Cell off the gate in fourth, down along the rail, Better by Far away in fifth. Out there 3 deep, Danube River is sixth, and last of the 7 as they race into the clubhouse turn is Sea Cove. Field covered by about 7.5 lengths as they have 6.5 furlongs left to travel. The first quarter mile, 24-2 just outside the 6 furlong pole. So on the inside, Big Red Kitten shows the way, but now ratcheting up the pressure, Puppy on a String under a long hold will lead him as they straighten for the backstretch run. Then a separation of about 3 lengths will find Better by Far right to her outside. She's flanked by Karina Charm, inching closer under a strong restraint. Stem Cells keen to go on, has come up into 5th, but only about 3 lengths off the pace, and then a length for the back. Danube River is 1 in front of Sea Cove. They're starting to bunch up here, 5.5 lengths from front to back, the half mile, 49-4, and they continue to run up the backstretch and make their way for the far turn. So it's Puppy on a String going to lead him into the turn. To the outside, Danube River has drawn an ever closer second. Karina Charm inching up the rail while racing in third with Corey Orm. They're linked in front of Big Red Kitten, who starts to backpedal, unwinding from the back. Here comes Sea Cove as the field midpoint through the turn. So Puppy on a String has been unchallenged, but company's coming. Here's Karina Charm punching up between horses. Danube River right there, and then down along the inside, Big Red Kitten, and then Sea Cove 3/4, 1:15-2, and here they come for home. And Danube River to the outside has come to tackle Puppy on a String. Karina Charm battling on and grinding in between horses. These 3 by the 8th pole, a length in front of Big Red Kitten, running on from the back. A 16th mile out. Puppy on a String is digging down deep, and Puppy on a String opening up late here. Puppy on a String, and Julie Burke takes him all the way to win by 2. Danube River was second, Karina Charm third, Big Red Kitten fourth. Running time for the opener, 1:50 flat. Number 3, Puppy on a String, took him from Flag Fall to That's All. Julie Burke was aboard for trainer Jim Egbert. Number 3, Puppy on a String, returns of 4:20, 2:80, 2:20. Finishing second was the 6 Danube River, third number 8 Karina Charm, and fourth the 2 Big Red Kitten. The exactas were worth $20.20, the $1 try $33.20, and the super 3682 returns $416 even. In that first race, number 7 Victoria Station was a late scratch. Running time 1:50 even. Tonight's second race is a claimant event for 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 3 Lifetime. They'll go 1 mile, scratch numbers 1, 6, and 8. Morning line favorite at even money, number 2, Fear the Kitten with Corey Orm in the bike. They are off. Fleeting beginning for Tower East, and hustled on out through from the inside. There goes Daddy Divine. Swift beginning as well to the outside for Let's Do It for Johnny as they race into the clubhouse turn. Archie Bunker has been taking a hand to be fourth in between horses. Towards his inside comes Silent Secret. A link for the back, there's Wound Up, and at the back of the pack, the favorite Fear the Kitten is last, but only about 7.5 lengths off the pace just outside the 6 furlong marker. So as they straighten up for the backstretch run, the opening quarter for Daddy Divine was 24-4. 2 lengths for the back comes Tower East, racing along in the second position, 1 in front of Silent Secret, who has 1 in front of Let's Do It for Johnny. Then a length for the back, the favorite, Fear the Kitten, has moved up 2 spots as Archie Bunker is next to last, and last of the lot comes Wound Up as they pass the half-mile pole. The first half goes in 49-1. So the speed of Daddy Divine has been a solo act. He'll lead him into the far turn in front by 1.5 lengths. Tower East inching an ever closer second. Doing it pretty easy here. Tower East inching up there just in hand. The favorite Fear the Kitten is moved into third, but really not making any progress as midpoint through the turn, Daddy Divine starting to get away here. Daddy Divine on a clear and uncontested lead by the quarter pole is going to spin him in for home. About 5 to the good. Tower East trying all out in second. Fear the Kitten still hugging the rail spot, making good headway, but it's just going to be for the minors because outside the 8th pole, Daddy Divine pouring it on here. here. Daddy Divine through 7/8, 127 and 2 is opening up in deep stretch. Daddy Divine's going to win by about 8 or 9 here in the end. Running on from the back, Fear the Kitten is going to be in a photo with Tower East, but undeniably Daddy Divine is heads and tails above these. Fear the Kitten may have just nosed out Tower East for the second spot and wound up with fourth, 141 and 1. Number 3, Daddy Divine took him all the way on the front end to win with Pariute for veteran trainer Doug Danner. Number 3, Daddy Divine returned $7.80, $4, $2.40. Second was the 2, the favorite Fear the Kitten. Third, number 5, Tower East. And fourth was the 10, Wound Up. The exacta $22.40, the dollar try $29.40, superfecta $363.40. The early daily double, a pair of threes, comes back $25 even. Running time 1:41 and 1/5 second. Tonight's third race, a maiden claimant event to go 1 mile, scratch the 5 Philbuck. Morning line favorite number 4, a huge class dropper for Mike Maker. Number 4, tax deduction with leading rider Albin Jimenez in the iron. They are off. French Admiral missed the break, but a fast start for the favorite, the gray, tax deduction sending on out. Prince of Spades is offensive-minded as well. Critical Summer will be a pace presence while racing in third. Visions of Cash is now into the bit and keen to go on, racing up into a joint third, as French Admiral has 1 horse beat, and at the back of the pack, Phillips Best Day will have to pass them all, and he's starting to lose touch with the field about 11 lengths front to back as they pass the 6 furlong marker, straighten up on the backstretch. The first quarter mile for tax deduction in 24 and 3. So tax deduction will lead him to the backstretch run in front by 3. Visions of Cass still grabbing onto that bit against Cardenas, racing in second. Prince of Spades starts to throw in his hand there early and is fading into fourth as Critical Summer went right on by that one, as did French Admiral as they approach the half-mile pole. The first half mile, 48 and 4. So tax deduction is going to lead him into the far turn run in front by about 5 or 6. Through from the inside, Critical Summer has drawn right alongside Visions of Cass. These two match strides midpoint through the turn. And then about a length further back, we'll find French Admiral. And starting to unwind from the back of the pack, here comes Phyllis Best Day. And Prince of Spades is all in and last, about 25 off. The pace of tax deduction, who's going to spin him for the money, about 6 to the good. Critical Summers under an all-out drive. Phillips Best Day unwinding from the back of the pack, wide on the course, outside the 8th pole. Tax deduction has led him by every pole and goes by the 8th pole, 5 to the good. Critical Summer racing on from the back. Phillips Best Day diving down towards the inside. Tax deduction is begging for the finish line, but tax deduction, nursed along comfortably by Albin Jimenez, is just going to hang on to win. Phillips Best Day exploded to be second. Critical Summer was third and a long way back to French Admiral fourth, 142 and 4. Number 4, tax deduction, took them all the way in the front end. Another front end victory tonight. Number 4, tax deduction, owned by Michael Hoy, trained by Mike Maker. Albin Jimenez was aboard for the ride. The winner returns 260, 220. 210. Second was the 3 Phillips Best Day, third number 1 Critical Summer, and fourth the 6 French Admiral. The exacta was worth $9.60, the $1 try $6.90, superfecta $27.40. The early pick 3 comes back $23.50 and the daily double $10.20. Running time 1:42 and 4. Tonight's 5th race, a claimant event to go 6 furlongs, scratch numbers 1 and 7. Morning line favorite at 9 to 5, number 2, Nolan's Dream with Rodney Prescott. They are off. In Ocean Front, offensive-minded, burst on out, quick into stride. There goes Cannonball Champ, keen to go on. Being hustled away from the gate, racing in third, comes back to values, punching up the fence. Nolan's Dream and Rodney Prescott has drawn right in, and now knifes up between horses has actually put that one in front. Then a separation of about 4 back to the pair of Uncle Tickles, and Mean G can see them all. Past the half-mile pole they go, and Nolan's Dream on the inside is going to take him through the first quarter, 22 and 4. Pressured to the outside by back to values. Up there 3 wide, the Virginia bred Ocean Front, inching close to the top pair, and Cannonball Champ has thrown in the towel, starting to run on from the back. Here's Uncle Tickles, and Mean G has put Cannonball Champ into the last and chilling position. Midpoint through the turn, so it's Nolan's Dream on the inside, shows the way. There's back to the values, racing along in second, looping up 3 wide, Ocean Front, and these 3 will straighten for the stretch drive, and Ocean Front has found the front. There's back to values, battle along the inside. That's all for Nolan's Dream, and running on from the back of the pack, down the center of the track, Uncle Tickles outside the 16th pole, and Ocean Front opening up in deep stretch. In Ocean Front, it's going to give Albin Jimenez 2 on the card. Ocean Front wins it by 2. Back to values was second, Uncle Tickle's third, and the favorite Nolan's Dream faded to fourth. Running time 1:12-2. Number 6, Ocean Front stalked the leaders and unleashed a furious stretch rally to win going away to give Albin Jimenez 2 straight on the card. The winner was trained by Dougie Coyle and returns 640, 280, 260. Finishing second was the 5 Back to Values, third number 3 Uncle Tickles, and fourth the 2 Nolan's Dream. The exact was worth $20.20. The try $80.40. Superfecta $151 even. The daily double returns $10. In the pick 3, $50 even. Tonight's fifth race, a claimant event to go 6 and 1/2 furlongs. Scratch numbers 1, 5, 8, 13, and 14. Morning line favorite at 8-5, number 9, Yardbird Misfits for owner William Wergel. They are off. And Alluvium went to his nose, and not the best start for Count Shandor either, but a fast start for Indian Powwow, who barrels on out. Here's Count Shandor now being hustled up from last up to Engage, and being hustled as well, One Wish. So a hot and contested pace up front. Fast pace here as Indian Charlie is fourth, only about 2.5 lengths off the pace. Social Affair is taken in hand. He's off the pace today, about 5.5 off the speed. There goes Clearly Perfection, one in front of Yardbird Misfits, who's being shoved upon, and Gladhander can see him all the first quarter. 23-1. They make their bend into that far turn. So it's Count Shandor, hard used to make the point, but now Indian Powwow repokes that nose in front. Indiana Charlie has a handful of horse, does that jock. Here comes Clearly Perfection looping up 4 wide, and Social Affair starting to pick them off midpoint through the turn. The half mile 47 seconds flat, and it's Indian Charlie who's going to lead him to the quarter pole. It's Clearly Perfection comes to tackle. There's Indian Powwow third, up there wide. One West as they straighten for the stretch drive. Upset chance lurking here. Indian Charlie opening up in deep stretch. Indian Charlie in front by 4. Clearly Perfection's trying to hold off the late charge of Alluvium, who's absolutely flying up the fence, but not going to get to Indiana Charlie. And Indiana Charlie and Dick Cardenas is going to hang on to win by the narrowest of margins here. Alluvium raced on to be second. Clearly Perfection third. Tight for fourth between Yardbird Misfits and Social Affair. 1:19-3. Number 7, Indiana Charlie on the stretch outs proves a decisive winner. For owner-trainer Ron Brown, Dick Cardenas gets his first victory on the meeting. Number 7, Indiana Charlie returns $13, $723.80. Finishing second was the 6, Alluvium, third number 11, Clearly Perfection, and fourth the 9, Yardbird Misfits. The winning exacta was worth $130.20. The dollar try $380 even. The super $1,195.20. The daily double comes back $59.80. The pick 4 $226.70, and the pick 5 for a 50 center $281. Running time for the fifth 1:19-3. Tonight's sixth race, a maiden claimant event for filly 3-year-olds. The claiming price $7,500. They'll go 6 furlongs. Late scratch of the 7, Osage Union. Morning line favorite from the Wesley Ward barn. Number 2, Nostrovia with apprentice Eduardo Gallardo. The rolls are all in line. They are off. And Lipstick Stain will get the first call. There goes Glistening, who's being hustled on out. Charles C. cantering along in the third position, through from the inside. Nostrovia, Orange Cap is fourth. A link to the back. Further back comes Can You Imagine. Then a separation of 2 to Will and Grace as the field makes their way up the backside, past the half-mile pole. And up front, Glistening out there showing the way, in front by about a length. Lipstick Stain now in the second position, about a length and a half further back. Through from the inside comes Charles C., the first-time starter, and looping up wide. There goes Nostrovius, and even further out, Can You Imagine? A length further back to Will and Grace, starting to pick them off from the back as the first quarter was 23 flat. So Lipstick Stain leads them just outside the quarter pole. Nostrovia is drawn alongside, coming to tackle, and 3 wide. Here's Simeon as they straighten for home. Lipstick Stain spins him in. Nostrovia right to her outside, and Simeon is being asked to quicken by the 8th pole. It's Lipstick Stain has shouldered the load and is finding more, but Nostrovia lunging to the outside, further out. Simeon through from the fence, Will and Grace, but Lipstick Stain took the lead from the get-go, and Lipstick Stain will break maiden today. Lipstick Stain by 2. Simeon was second, Nostrovia third, tight for fourth, 1:14-4. Number 8, Lipstick Stain, took them all the way in the front end. To win it for owner Lloyd Pike, trainer Barb Riley, Richard Bracho was aboard this great Phillies maiden break-in victory. Number 8, Lipstick Stain, returned 1740, 840, 420. Finishing second was the 9, Simeon, third the 2, Nostrovia, and fourth the 1, Will and Grace. The Exacta was worth $42.40, the Try $78.50, Super $360.40, and the Pick 3 $150.45. Running time for race 6, 1:14 and 4/5. Tonight's 7th race is a claimant event for 4-year-olds and upwards. The claimant price 8 down to 7. They'll go 5 1/2 furlongs. Late stretches of the 4, Bulls a Boy, and the 6, Tacoma Park. There was no super wagering. Morning line of favorite after the scratch was number 3, Timely Pursuit, with Gabe Lagunas. They are off. Troubled beginning for Takeedum, but a fast start for Lil J, who's hustled on out. Timely Pursuit came away racing in second position. Takeedum has recovered to race up into a joint second. Then a link for the back to Senor Tremendo, and Brett's Boy can't see them all. They blitz up the backside, past the half-mile pole. And up front, Lil J and Perry Utes have made the point. Takeedum has recovered and raced up into second, only about a length off the leaders as they took the opening quarter 22-3, and they make the way into the far turn. Timely Pursuit is third, but being ridden hard to keep pace. Through from the fence, here comes Tremendo, and still nothing from Brett's Boy, who's always been outpaced outside the quarter pole here. And Lil Joy has the target on his back. Takeedum and Johnny McKee coming into second. Looping up wide, Timely Pursuit and Senior Tremendo as they straighten for the stretch run. And Lil J spins him in. Lil J by the 8th pole, opening up by 4. Takeedum had no response from the back of the pack. Senior Tremendo and Brett's Boy running on, but simply for the minors because this race is for place. Lil J took them all the way on the front end. Lil J to give Perry Utes 2 on the card. Tight for second, I think Timely Pursuit just nosed out Takeedum, and Brett's Boy was fourth, 105-2. Number 2, Lil J wired the field here for owner Ernest Otis, trained Susan Anderson, and Perry Utes gets his second victory on the card. Number 2, Lil J returns $8.40, $4, $2.20. Second was the 3, Timely Pursuit, and third, number 1, Takeedum. The Exacta was worth $22, the Try $51.20, Daily Double $77.40. The Pick 3, $318.40. Running time, 105-2. Tonight's 8th race, an allowance event for fillies and mares. Never won 2 races lifetime. They'll go 1 mile, scratch the 5, 8, and 10. Morning line favorite from the Jerry O'Dwyer barn, number 3, Luna Argenta. They are off. And the starter caught him in a perfect line. As expected, Split It sending on out for the lead. Perfect Extension's going to keep her honest in the second position. Luna Argenta's third. The favorite Forensic is a 4-wide fourth. Zippy Speed came away racing in fifth, 1 in front of Indian Rocket. Then a link for the back to the trailer, Marketplace. But a compact field, just about 6.5 or 7 lengths from front to back as they pass the 6 furlong marker. And Split It and Alvin Jimenez have made the point and will lead them for the backstretch run through a first quarter in a moderate 24-2. Perfect Extension has come through along the rail to be second. Forensic shadows that one while racing third. Indian Rocket, under stout restraint by Prescott, is fourth, but only about 4 lengths off the pace. Then a link for the back, Zippy Speed from the back of the pack as 2 horses beat. They are Luna Argenta, and Marketplace has been outpaced past the half-mile pole, the first half in 48-1. So Split It leads them into the far turn run. 3 further back to Perfect Extension and still shadowed by Forensic. Through from the inside, Zippy Speed has found a seam at the fence and has come on through to be a joint second. On hold right now. Marketplace just keen to go on. And here comes Indian Rocket and Rodney Prescott outside the quarter pole. So Split It's going to spin him in. But Indian Rocket looping right up to the outside. 3 wide. Marketplace running on from the back of the pack. 3 quarters. 1:13-3, and they're on their way home. And Split It has the lead. Indian Rocket has no response. Running on from the back. Marketplace by the 8th pole. Split It got away with some easy fractions, and Split It's going to go on to win here as Split It passes the 16th pole by 4, by 5, by 6, down to the wire. Chalk another one up for Maker and Jimenez. Split It wins by 4. Indian Rocket was second, then a gap of about 8 or 9 back to Marketplace third, 1:39-4. Number 1, Split It. A wire-to-wire convincing winner here. She was owned by James Herbener, trained by Mike Maker for his second victory in the card, and jockey Alvin Jimenez gets his third victory as number 1 Split It. Home a winner, returning $620, $440, $3. Second was the 7 Indian Rocket, third 6 Marketplace, and fourth was the 9 Forensic. The Exacta was $38.40, the Try $105.80, Superfecta $390 even. The Daily Double returns $26.20. The 50-cent pick 3, $63.80. Running time 1:39.4. The 9th and final is a claimant event for horses who haven't won a race in a full calendar year. They'll sprint a quick 5/8 of a mile. In the 9th, scratch the 1 TJ's Folly, the 10 Shut Up Chris, jockey changing the 13 Stig's Deputy to Eduardo Gallardo. And number 13 Stig's Deputy was the morning line favorite for trainer Manny Perez. They are off. Not the best start for You Step Aside, but a fleeting beginning for Crash McGee. Away from the gate in second is Gimme a Wish, being hustled up the inside, Mr. Argument. J-Pa, the favorite, Green Cap, came away racing in fourth. As the field makes their way up the backside, heading to the far turn. So Crash McGee is fleet-footed in Florence and leads him into the far turn, in front by about 3. Big Royal Deal has come in long into second. To the outside, there goes J-Pa and Perry Utes, and making good headway from the back of the pack comes Mount Rasmore just outside the quarter pole, and Crash McGee, as expected, is going to spin him in, but looping up wide for the drive. Here's Stig's Deputy, also Big Royal Deal, and J-Pa is a straighten for the money. Nobody's got to Crash McGee yet. Goes by the 8th pole to the good. Big Royal Deal probing up the fence. To the outside, Stig's Deputy running on from the back, long shot. Week's going to split him and run on for the spoils. To the outside, Mr. Argument, but down to the wire. Crash McGee took him all the way on the front end, wins by 4. Long shot, Week's going to maybe spoil the Super High 5. Tight photo for the Shoto, 59-4. Number 3, Crash McGee, made every pole winning one for owner-trainer Charlie Lawson. Eddie Zuniga was in the irons. The winner returns $12.20, $660, $460. Second was the 4 Weeks Week. Third, number 7, Big Royal Deal. Fourth, the 2 Mr. Argument. Finishing 5th for the Super High 5 was Give Me a Wish. The Exacta was worth $260.80. The Super, $10,169. Late double comes back $41.80. The pick 4, $1,050.90. No winners in the Super High 5. Carry over into Sunday's card, nearly $11,000. Well, that wraps up live racing for this Saturday, January 23rd. Again, live racing returns tomorrow for the first post of 2:30. This has been the Turfway Park Report.